All right, welcome. We're live here at West Fargo High School on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Getting ready for C-Team volleyball action between the visiting Fargo North Spartans and the home team, the West Fargo Packers. We don't have rosters for the C or JV squads, and I apologize for that. I just barely got here in the nick of time today. I was able to print out the varsity roster because I remembered last time, with no fans in attendance, they don't have rosters in attendance either, like they usually do for every game I've done at every school ever for the past 4 years. So, so we'll just do some general commentary here for C and JV, and then we'll give you a full up to par broadcast for the varsity match at about 7:30 this evening. Fargo North in the blue, West Fargo in the white. And we are underway here in set one of the C-Team match. And that's a point for the Spartans. Fargo North on the board. As you can see, some of the students from West Fargo have put up pictures of their parents in the stands here and cardboard cutouts, which is really, really cool. In the Packers game against Fargo Davies was the first game of the fall sports season where they would not allow fans at indoor events. And we got a picture of what that looks like from the front on our Facebook page during that game, but as I look down, I don't know if there's more. I think there's a few more out there than there was during that last matchup that we had. So I'll see if I can sneak down there and get another picture of it. We'll put it on our Facebook page. Spartans up 2-0 here. Once again, C-Team volleyball action brought to you in part by Banner Buzz, Game Time, Uber Eats, as well as Healing Touch Chiropractic. And Giant sunflower seeds. Find them at almost any gas station here in North Dakota, Minnesota. So when you're looking for seeds, make sure you look for the blue bag and the word Giants on it. And a net violation on Fargo North will make it 3-2. Once again, we want to thank all of our sponsors for all of the schools that we have covered this fall sports season, including West Fargo Cheyenne, Perham High School, Barnesville High School, Kindred High School. And I'm sure I have a blank on one of them. For every sponsor who has helped make these broadcasts possible, especially in these last couple weeks here where fans weren't allowed inside, we are certainly appreciative of those of that support. And so is everybody watching this matchup right now. So we ask that you please patronize those businesses that you hear about in our broadcast, because if it was not for them, we would not be here today. You know, at times are tough for a lot of people and companies right now, so any amount of support you can give those local businesses you hear about in the broadcast would be much appreciated. 5-3 in favor of Fargo North here. The Spartans will go on the serve. That serve will sail out of bounds just over the line by about a half of a volleyball, and that'll end in a point for the Packers. 5-4. Grove. That was the other one that I forgot to mention. We've covered, I think we were able to schedule in all 3 of their home games this year for their football team. So for the West Fargo fans, we'll have one more regular season volleyball match for you after today, and that is your road match at Fargo South, coming up here in a little over a week from now, as the Packers take a 6-5 lead. So the Bruins will host the Packers, and that'll be our final regular season matchup that we'll broadcast for the West Fargo Packers volleyball team. And we are about 95% in on the EDC volleyball tournament. Of course, the quarterfinals, semifinals hosted at various locations at the higher seed. We will not have any of the quarterfinal or semifinal round matches live on Magnitude, but we will have the 2 state qualifiers and the EDC championship game. So you can circle that on your schedule. I believe the times of day for those matches are going to be released sometime tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure if that'll be like in the morning or in the afternoon or when, but the North Dakota High School Activities Association has looped me in on the fact that those times will be released tomorrow. And the only reason why I know that is because I had to ask, because I had a Minnesota conflict. Or not a conflict, but a match that was rescheduled to the same day as those qualifiers in the championship. We wanted to make sure we could get them all in. 8-6 now in favor of West Fargo. So then I asked, and he's like, it's likely going to be this, that, and this, but don't say anything until Friday. So I'll keep my word. And for some reason, the buttons are not working again here. Let me double check something here. All right, let's see if they're working now, as the Packers will get that point. And it does. Awesome. So now if the score isn't correct, it's my fault, not the software's fault. We're going to take a break here as we have a timeout on the floor. Back in a moment on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Order your copy of this game or any of our previous game and event broadcasts on DVD by visiting our website. Just email us the required information found on our website, and we'll mail you your copy of today's game or event on DVD. Orders take approximately 3 to 4 days to arrive. Larger orders could take longer. For all the info on how to order your copy of today's game on DVD, visit our website at msportsnet.com/DVD.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack in the Midwest. We thank you for your continued trust in Giants to provide you the best quality sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, pistachios, and our delicious cashews.
All right, welcome back. It is 11-6 in favor of West Fargo here. Hosting the Fargo North Spartans C-Team Volleyball action live for you here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. We'll have the JV to follow and the varsity to follow that one. And that will be powered down for a kill and a point for West Fargo. Now the Packers have doubled up here on the Spartans. We'll have 2 football games for you on Friday. I'll be in Perham as the Yellow Jackets will host Detroit Lakes in Minnesota high school football. And then Brad Anderson will be down at Cheyenne High School as the Mustangs will host the Jamestown Blue Jays. And that will be the quarterfinal round matchup of the state football tournament in AAA. And then we'll also have a AA quarterfinal football tournament match for you here on Magnitude Sports. On Saturday, as it's 12-8, as the Kindred Vikings will host the Hazen Bison. And that game will kick off on Halloween afternoon at 2 p.m. live on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. The Perham Detroit Lakes and the Cheyenne Jamestown game will kick off at 7 p.m. tomorrow live on the Magnitude Sports Media Network as well. 13-8 now in favor of the Packers. And the winter sports schedule is starting to come together finally, as we got our schedules for the Minnesota teams, and now we have a mix of North Dakota and Minnesota on our schedule for the winter sports season. 14-8 Packers have the lead. So you'll see, just to kind of give you a preview of what our website schedule will look like. You'll see a lot of games for the West Fargo Packers, the Fargo Davies Eagles, the Cheyenne Mustangs, the Perham Yellow Jackets, and the Barnesville Trojans this winter here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. And if your team happens to play one of those teams, then we'll have coverage of your team as well. So 14-9. Out of bounds, point goes to the Packers, and it's 15-9. I want to say hi to Gary watching on our Facebook page, as that point went in favor of the Packers, 16-9. Also want to say hi to, I'd say screen name, I'm not sure what their actual name is, but hopefully you can hear we turned up that microphone to accommodate your comment, and hopefully it's better now. So Gary, I'm not sure when you sent that comment in, but I'll go over it again since I don't have rosters here. It's now 16-10. We will be covering the state qualifiers and the EDC championship game as part of the EDC volleyball tournament. We will not be covering any quarterfinal or semifinal round matches. And there is going to be an announcement made at some point tomorrow regarding the EDC volleyball tournament. I know what that announcement is, but I've been asked to keep secret about it until Friday, so I cannot say anything before the North Dakota High School Activities Association has a chance to say something. So 17-10 with that in mind. That is the answer to your question, Gary. And as soon as that announcement is released tomorrow, as it's 18-10 now, we will update our website to reflect the times of those matches on November 14th. That point will go to the Spartans. I want to give a shout out to just everybody who is some way involved in the scheduling of the games, as far as people at the health department who send guidelines to the schools And all those people, like, I have no idea who's all involved with that. I named a couple that I believe are involved with it, and for those who I didn't mention who are involved in that process at some point, this goes out to you as well. But kudos to everybody for finding a way to make the games be played, even though some people may think that the game shouldn't be played, but for finding a way to make it possible for these games to be played. If you are a part of that process, we thank you for that. And I'm sure a lot of the parents and I'm sure a lot of the players thank you for that as well. Dan, got your thumbs up. Thank you for the heads up on that. Now, when the fall sports season started, they were allowing limited fans with masks at indoor events and limited fans at outdoor events with mask optional as long as you could social distance. And then Minnesota said, hey, look at what North Dakota's doing. So then they brought fall sports back to the fall, which I'm kind of glad they did, because I don't know how we would have handled all those sports in the spring, but we would have figured something out. But I'm glad we don't have to. But they would look at North Dakota, and then they decided, okay, well, same thing for outdoor events, but nobody's allowed indoors. And they had a restriction on 2 radio stations and 1 streaming/TV station at each game, which is being followed by most of the schools in Minnesota. I'll put it that way. And then the very first day of the volleyball season in Minnesota, they changed it to allow 2 fans per participant. So if you have 24 volleyball players, 12 on each team in theory, not all teams have just 12 players, but we're just using that for easy math, then you could have 48 people in attendance, and those 48 people would have to wear masks. And then about a week after that, North Dakota went to no fans allowed at indoor events. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think no fans are allowed at outdoor events as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but the rules change so often that I cannot keep up with them. They change as much as the scoreboard changes here in a volleyball match, it seems like. But like I said to start that whole conversation off, to all those involved in the process to making these games being possible to even be played, whether you're an athletic director or employee at the health department or whatever the case may be, thank you for your hard work this year in 2020. Your job is always tough, but I can't imagine how much more tough it's been this year. And of course, we want to thank West Fargo and Cheyenne, as well as Fargo North, Fargo Davies, and Fargo South for welcoming us into their fields and gyms this 2020 season. As you may have figured out, most of the schools here in the Fargo-Moorhead area are now streaming their matches. Some with commentary and sound, some without, but at least the games are getting on. But they don't have enough equipment to cover all of their games, and as a result, they're still allowing us to come by and say hi occasionally. So we certainly appreciate that. (21-14), Packers have a 7-point advantage here as that one will sail out of bounds, and it's 22-14. And we have a timeout on the floor, so we'll take a timeout as well. Be back in a moment.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo. What impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
All right, welcome back. Set one, 22-14 advantage for the West Fargo Packers here over the Fargo North Spartans. C-team volleyball action live on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. If you're just joining us, we do not have rosters for C or JV, so we're just giving you general commentary here, and then we'll give you a full broadcast on the varsity match, because I do have the rosters this time printed out from my home computer because I knew they weren't going to be available here at the gym, so... 23-14. Put the scoreboard back on the screen for you. And that will go into the net. It's 23-15. Spartans started out set one rather nicely. They had I believe it was a 3-1 or 4-1 lead at one point, and then the Packers would chip away at it, and now they've got the advantage. Serve, high arcing serve is over. Set, Fargo North will go on the attack and down in front of the back line. Nicely done. 23-16. A little miscommunication there, and now drop for a Spartan point as a result. 23-17. Can the Spartans chip away at it now? They're getting closer. Still down 6, and not a lot of room on the Packers side of the scoreboard to work with here, but we'll see what they can do over the next 6-7 points here. That one goes out of bounds, and it's set point for the Packers, 24-17. I just now noticed, I did not even pay attention to this until just now, but the Packer players are wearing masks. The Spartan players are not, and I'm not sure if that's a city ordinance thing or a school ordinance thing or what, but we will leave it at that. I just wanted to make the observation. I'm not here to say right or wrong on anything regarding this, because I personally don't want that to be on our station. So. I'm kind of curious if it affects the play of the players at all or not. Because I know when I wear a mask walking up bleachers with broadcast equipment, sometimes it's one of those things where you need to stop, pause, pull your mask down for 2 seconds, engulf a big fresh breath of fresh air, and then continue up the steps. It's almost like you're, I don't want to use the word suffocating, but it's kind of like if you're swimming underwater and you don't come up for air. That's kind of what it feels like going up the bleachers with a mask on and heavy equipment that you're hauling either in your hands or in a backpack or whatever the case may be. So timeout on the floor, obviously, and we won't take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. But we do want to thank our sponsors, including Banner Buzz, Game Time, Uber Eats, Farmers Union Insurance, Healing Touch Chiropractic, and Giant Seeds. We certainly appreciate all their support to make broadcast coverage possible. Also, don't want to forget about the Packer Backer Booster Club for making both soccer and volleyball possible this year. Packers coming in second place at the state soccer tournament, falling to Bismarck High in the championship game. Oh, wait, no, I take that back. They took third, defeating Cheyenne, because it was Bismarck and Century that met in the championship game. So corrected myself quickly enough so that you guys know that I do know what I'm talking about. We will take a timeout, and we'll be back in a moment with set number 2. 25-17 in set 1 for the Packers.
It seems around here every town is a sports town. And why not? Sports were important to us growing up, and we want the same for our kids. To get involved, to compete, because that's how kids learn to lead. And why Farmers Union Insurance supports these programs. They know sports aren't just about building skill and strength, but about building character. Farmers Union Insurance. They don't just protect our community, they invest in it.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo.
What impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
All right, we're getting ready for set 2 as the Packers take set 1. 25-17. Let me click a button here. As I mentioned earlier, I got here just in the nick of time. There was 9 minutes before the match started. So now I know I can set my equipment up in less than 9 minutes. There you go. Now it looks a little bit more normal. Sometimes when we do a team with a longer name, we have to adjust the font size on that. And then since I was in a rush today, I forgot to adjust that font size back for the Packers, who have a shorter team name than the Yellow Jackets do. And that'll be a touch violation, or was it a net violation? Well, either way, it was a violation. That gives the Spartans a point, and we're tied at 1. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you for that message, Gary. I do appreciate that, and that makes a lot of sense, too. 2-1 favor the Packers. And like I said, that goes into what I was, and I'll summarize what Gary shared with me here in a moment, but what Gary just shared with me goes into what I was saying earlier about whether an athletic director, health department, doing what they need to do to make sure that these games can be played. And then a little bit later, I made the comment about the Packers wearing masks, and it is a voluntary choice for the Packers to wear a mask. I was informed that they started wearing the mask on Tuesday night in hopes that the teams will stay healthy for the upcoming tournament. We've seen it happen to the Oaks Tornadoes, who had a very, very good shot of getting to the Dakota Bowl, and their season came to an end after a quarterfinal win because of the fact that COVID hit their sports team and they weren't able to field players for the next game, so they had to forfeit, and as a result, Langdon gets a bye week, and they will face the winner of Shiloh Christian and Minot Ryan. And they do not have to play the quarterfinal round game. I checked that the Oaks game was a first round game, because in that divisional football you have first round, quarterfinals, semifinals, then the Dakota Bowl in that division of football. Oaks won the first round game over Carrington. And then the very next morning, they had to forfeit their upcoming quarterfinal round game against Langdon due to COVID. And then we saw it happen with the Cheyenne Mustangs soccer team too, as they chose to field their JV players when their varsity squad was forced to sit out due to COVID. 4-3, Spartans have the lead. And, you know, we'll never know for sure, but it's very possible the Mustangs had a chance at a state championship had their players been able to stay in and their varsity players be able to stay in and play. Now, I'm not making predictions or anything on what would have happened, but I'm just saying it was certainly a possibility that they could have won a state championship. I was at that quarterfinal round game between Cheyenne and Century, and Century, the final score escapes me, but the one thing that has not escaped my memory was how Bismarck Century reacted after that game was over and gave a huge amount of respect, applause. I think even a couple of them said, "Screw social distancing, let me give you a high five and a hug." And they were just they just showed a lot of sportsmanship in that win over a game that it's really hard to put into words on how to word that, but another huge shout out to the Mustang fans who came out to that game and cheered on their team, even though it was not the normal varsity team out there on the field. It's now 7-4. And we put the point on the wrong side there, so let's go like this. There we go. Fargo North gets that one over somehow. Apparently a lot of colleges in the southern United States have done the mask thing approaching a tournament, and that's how that kind of philosophy kind of worked its way back through the other states, and schools who are going into tournaments now choosing to wear masks to increase their chance of letting their players play in that tournament game. 7-5, now you can make it 7-6. So once again, thanks, Gary, for sending me that message. Makes a lot of sense, and it's always good to be in the know. Nine 6 now. Packers with the lead. Once again, no rosters here for C or JV. So just general commentary. And we certainly appreciate that those who have commented saying that you enjoy the commentary even if we don't have the rosters. We appreciate that. Well, I'll say this, without having rosters, as the point will go to West Fargo, and they're up 10-7 now. One of the things I struggled with in the early part of my career, especially when doing football games, was what do I say during the time where there's nothing to say, like between plays, when they break the huddle, come up to the line of scrimmage, etc. That was one of the hardest things, is to find like fill material. Now here in 2020, I'm getting a lot of practice with that. So 11-7, you can make it 12-7 now. So hopefully, moving forward, football won't be a problem now. I know they got some practice and experience on talking about random things without it being in my initial game prep. So back over, and they find the spot on the floor in between the defense there, and that makes it 13-7. Fargo North had a good rally going there too, and West Fargo was able to survive it and get the point. Attack into the net, another point for West Fargo, and it's 14-7. I want to say hi to Danielle. Let's try that again. I want to say hi to Danielle for watching on our Facebook page. We certainly appreciate that. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a break. Be back in a moment.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack in the Midwest. We thank you for your continued trust in Giants to provide you the best quality sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, pistachios, and our delicious cashews.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo.
What impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
All right, welcome back. In the middle of set two, a 14-7 lead for the Packers as they take set one, 25-17. The serve is over. Fargo North will send it back. West Fargo will set it up for an attack. Middle of the net, it's over, and it's kept alive. Nicely done there by the Spartans. They'll bump over a free ball here for the Packers. And they tried to catch the Spartans off guard there, sending it back over on the second touch. Spartans able to keep the volley going. Blocked at the net, and it'll fall for a Packer point. (15-7). Once again, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or on your mobile device or on your home TV, we certainly appreciate you watching. Also want to say hi to Cammie for watching on our Facebook page. Certainly appreciate that, Cammie. 15-8. The Spartans get the point. They'll get the serve back, too. Once again, if you're just joining us, we do not have rosters for the C or JV games due to the fact that no fans are allowed. No rosters are at the front door. But I did remember that from the last game we did, and I did print the varsity roster from my home computer, so we'll be good on the varsity game. That one goes out of bounds. It looked into me, but it's a point for the Packers nonetheless. 16-9 is our score now. So have to chase that one out into the hallway. That'll give us a moment to thank our sponsors, including Banner Buzz, Game Time, Uber Eats, Sean Carlson, Town and Country Credit Union, Healing Touch Chiropractic, Farmers Union Insurance, and Giant Sunflower Seeds. We certainly appreciate that. John and Peggy, thanks for tuning in on our Facebook page. (17-9). If our buttons will go that fast. There we go, 17-9. Make that 18-9. Also want to say hi to Paula watching on Facebook. Certainly appreciate you watching, Paula. I believe Paula has a daughter who plays JV volleyball for the Packers. And the point will go to the Packers. It is 19-9. Amber and Angie, thanks for tuning in on our Facebook page as well. 19-9, 10-point advantage for West Fargo over Fargo North. And that one lands out of bounds, 20-9. You're watching C-Team volleyball action live on the Magnitude Sports Media Network from West Fargo High School. And as you can see on the lower portion of your screen there, the West Fargo parents have allowed their photos to be taken and put onto cardboard cutouts, and they have placed them in the stands to give the Packers a sort of home crowd experience, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Nice dig out there by the Spartans. Now they'll set up the attack from the near pin, and the Packers keep the volley going. Set, swing, and it's down for a kill. Spartans crack the double-digit mark on the scoreboard. It's 20-10. Once again, EDC volleyball on November 14th, I believe it is, or is it November 4th? It has a 4 in it. I believe it's the 14th. We'll have the 2 state qualifying matches as well as the EDC championship match live here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. And if you want to get up a little bit earlier and watch some Minnesota volleyball, we'll have an 11:30 matchup between the Barnesville Trojans and the Perham Yellow Jackets. So during that 11 o'clock hour, we'll have 2 volleyball matches live on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. That will be into the net. And a point for West Fargo. It's 21-10. We're still trying to juggle who's going to do which game. I'll either be here or in Barnesville, one of the two, as we are thinking Brad Anderson might be available for the other game that I'm not at. But he also has a volleyball match on his radio station that same day, and the time for that match has not been determined because we don't know who's playing in the match. And that would be the Region 1 tournament. Jennifer, thanks for tuning in on our Facebook page. Appreciate that. It's 22-10 now. Once again, C team is best of 3, so the Packers 3 points away from winning the match. And that goes off the fist of the diving Spartan Librero, and it's 23-10. And that tack goes on the wrong side of the net. Under instead of over, and a point for the Spartans, 23-11. I want to thank Fargo North Athletic Director Travis Christensen for allowing us to come up there and broadcast the game between the Spartans and the Packers when the Packers were at the Spartan Dome. As we had an opening come up on our schedule to sneak that road game in for the Packers and give the Spartans a little bit of extra coverage this year as well as a result of that. And then Mike Beaton at Fargo South High School was allowing us to come down there and do the Packers-Bruins volleyball match, which is another one we were able to sneak into our schedule. And that will wrap it up for this one. 25-11. There we go. Now it's working. And final score, 2-0, 25-17, 25-11. That'll do it for the C-Team match. This game will be available for an on-demand replay within about 15 minutes. If you missed it live, you can watch it again at msportsnet.com/on-demand. I'll wrap it up for the C-Team match. The junior varsity match coming up here in about 20 minutes on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. We'll be live and back in a few minutes.